5 years have passed since Comet Clark struck Earth, wiping out more than 75% of humanity. Those who survived took refuge in underground bunkers. John Garrity works as a scout and engineer, patrolling the wilderness amidst dangerous electromagnetic storms. His wife, Allison, works for the council that makes decisions inside the bunker and also looks after the people outside. Their son, Nathan, attends the bunker school, but his parents are at a loss because he's always trying to go outside despite the radiation. Once, John miraculously escaped death in a storm and returned to the bunker. When the council saw that the storms and earthquakes wouldn't stop, they decided they had to evacuate the bunker and go to a place called Crater of Clark in southern France, which was once the Gulf of Lion and the Mediterranean Sea, because that's where humanity began to rebuild. The journey was difficult and frightening, as many places had become battlegrounds with criminals and bandits. During this time, John became ill from radiation and began to slowly die, but he kept this secret from Allison and Nathan. Allison held a vote to send a rescue team to the people who remained outside. When they returned, they tried to save those who were still there, but a very strong earthquake struck, forcing them all to flee. The Garrity family managed to board a large lifeboat at the last moment, just before an unimaginable tsunami struck the bunker and everyone outside. The boat reached Liverpool, and the survivors made their way to a gate leading to another bunker. The Garrity family entered because they had official badges, but one of their friends damaged his badge and tried to force his way in. He was shot. Chaos ensued, and the Garrity family, along with a doctor named Amina, fled. A Nigerian man named Obi was leading them. The group stopped in the forest to rest, but a meteor shower fell on them, forcing them to take cover in the bushes to protect themselves. Poor Obi died trying to save his truck after a large rock fell on it and crushed it. The survivors went to a house in London belonging to their friend Mackenzie to find food and a place to sleep. It was there that Allison learned of her husband John's illness and discovered he only had 6 or 8 weeks left to live. Allison suggested the family stay with Mac, but John refused, saying he wanted to see his wife and son in a better and safer place. After leaving Mac, they continued their journey until they were attacked by gunmen who killed Dr. Amina. John managed to defend his family and killed the gunmen. They buried poor Amina and continued until they reached the English Channel, which was completely dry. To cross, they joined another group of travelers who had to cross a very deep river over unsafe bridges. The wind was very strong, and some people were blown away and died. But the Garrity family all managed to cross safely. In the city of Calais, they met a man named Denis Laurent, who invited them to his home to meet his wife, Julia, who was confined to a wheelchair, and his teenage daughter, Camille, who started talking to Nathan. Once Denis felt comfortable with the Garrity family, he spoke to Jean about what awaited them on the way to the gorge, telling him that he had a friend, Commandant Jean, who could help them cross. Denis asked Jean to do him a favor and take his daughter Camille with him, since his wife, Julia, was unable to travel and he couldn't leave her alone. Allison agreed, and Camille, with tears in her eyes, said goodbye to her parents and joined the Garrity family. They arrived in the area where the war was raging, heading towards the crater. Then came the shock. Commander John was dead, and there was no one left to help them. John pleaded with the army chief to let them through, but the chief warned them they were crossing a dangerous battlefield. Eventually, they and Camille made it through. They boarded a bus with other survivors, but the rebels stopped them and forced everyone out. John was the last one on board. He fought off a gunman, killing him and his men. But unfortunately, he was shot in the stomach. John managed to reach the edge of the crater with Allison, Nathan, and Camille. It had become like an oasis, glowing with light. There, John collapsed from his wound and spent his final moments with Allison and Nathan before he passed away. Finally, the three of them continued on their way to the crater, and the story is told in John's voice as he advises his son Nathan, giving him hope for a better future.